Here with my co-host Patrick Reynolds, also known a.k.a. Kardashian of Lake Norman, because he does nothing, says nothing, sees nothing, knows nothing. He's just nothing.
Kind of gives you a thrill just to be in the same room with me, doesn't it?
And everybody wants to be Patrick. You know, in my world, everybody needs a Julie.
Yes.
And everybody wants to be Patrick.
I need a Julie, though.
So that's up to you.
Yeah.
You can't have my Julie.
Why?
Just stay away from her.
Why?
Just stay away from her.
Okay. Now I know. What I'm hearing is make her an offer. She would do well with Patrick Kardashian Enterprises, I think. I think she would do well.
Patrick, my friend, thank you so much for being here, buddy.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you, Joe.
So we have the owners of Progressive Business Commercial Financing, Sam and, I'm going to get that wrong. What's that? Say that, Patrick. Say that.
Solonia.
Solonia? How'd he do?
He did really well.
Of course I did really well. Thank you,
Wade-Baskins.
Solonia.
Yes.
Solonia, thank you so much for being here. Sam, thank you so much for being here. We really do appreciate it. Julie saw your interview on Bill Russell's Around the Lake, sent it to me and said, she's awesome. Let's get her on the show. I also saw it and I thought it was just exceptional because you actually made financing interesting, you know.
Yes.
So thank you so much for being here. We really do appreciate it.
Yeah. So Joe and Julie and Patrick, thank you for having us.
So let's get started with what is Progressive Business and Commercial Financing. What is it actually?
So actually, what we do is we do commercial and real estate lending, leasing, and financing, but we use the non-traditional alternative way. So when I talk to business owners and we sit down and we have a conversation, I let them know that when their business is struggling and it's not mature enough for the bank, for whatever reason it is, a credit score, time in the business, revenue, we are the alternative non-traditional way of helping a business owner get over that hump and helping them to succeed and go to the next level of their business.
And so when you say that, I went to your website, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things I really liked was all the different types of loans that you have. Most people don't realize it, but there's plenty of ways to skin that cat, right? And you're the cat to do that.
Exactly.
Right. And so there are different ways to get things done. I can remember years ago, I had a bunch of restaurants inside office buildings, and you can imagine, I had tapped out that ability to borrow more money. And then I found out about equipment leasing. Then all of a sudden, the doors open back up again. I can open up 10 more of them, right?
Exactly.
So there's different types of approaches to getting what it is. You will help them open their eyes to stuff they would have no idea about.
They would have no idea. And you know, one thing we realized, Joe, when talking to business owners is that they want to do what they love, right? Like you said, financing is boring. A lot of people don't understand it. It's just numbers, debit, and credit. So they want to do what they love and what they enjoy. And so what we take pride in is sitting down with every business owner and knowing that you're different. Your business is different. What your goal is and what your purpose is for the business, who you are in your business is different. And so we want to sit down with you and explain it, understand your business, understand why you're doing it. How does it make you who you are? And how can we help you? And then we explain the different ways of your lending.
And when I went to small business people out there doing listening, or spouses or friends of small business people, when you have been turned down from the no account, no good for nothing, aggravating big banks.
I thought you were going with me this time. Okay. Whew. Dodged another one.
The bank on that
The bank, thank goodness.
I want you to call Progressive. Because what you can do for them is just listen to what they're after and find a way through what it is they want to do. There is another way besides knocking on the door of the no account, no good for nothing, aggravating big bank.
That's it.
You are the solution.
It's always a way. It's always to get a way to get around that difficulty. If you sit down and you think about it and we come together, and we want business owners to know that we're in it with them, right? Yeah. We are a small business ourselves. So we understand the brick walls. We understand the frustrations. We understand those nights when you can't sleep, when you're up
right.
2 o'clock in the morning.
Amen.
right? And
You don't own a small business if that ain't happening.
right? And as you were
true.
speaking of fear earlier,
Right.
we understand that fear of having a family, having to make it work, and it's you to that point where how do I do this? Where do I go? And we're those problem solvers. We're that faith-based company that says, let's sit down, let's talk about it, maybe let's even pray about it. But we're here to help you because we're in it with you.
Okay, so y'all didn't just wake up on a Tuesday and decide you go find people Monday.
It was Wednesday.
Sam, tell me what life was like, because it just didn't happen on a Tuesday. You kind of walk me through this.
It didn't happen on a Tuesday.
I mean, you always been in financing. I mean,
I've been a jack of all trades, a master of none. I would say my last, real job was an insurance agent. And I always wanted to do something on my own and something in financing. So I came up with the name Progressive Business and Finance in 2021. And just the interest in business and how money works is what intrigued me to actually start our business. And my wife came along and joined me. Her job was ending. She couldn't go.
oh, I know what her Jay sales. You don't have to tell me that. I can tell.
Yeah, this is an accountant, but this woman is
No,
fabulous.
no
Well,
way.
she was an accountant.
No way.
Yes. I was an accountant in Manhattan. I'm from Jersey City.
Wow.
Came accounting 10 plus years in Manhattan. And
I wouldn't have figured that.
my job was coming to
No.
an end, and I looked at him and said, I ain't going back to work, so we got to do something.
Right.
And
Yeah.
what we want to do when we
Yeah.
figured, we said, you know what, cash flow. We want to understand how cash flow works, and we want to help other people and business owners understand how cash flow works. How can we help them get that generational blessings is what we said.
Yeah.
How can we help them in whichever way that comes? It could come financially, it could come through health, it could come through knowledge, whatever you need to gain to help you sustain and grow. Is that what we want to
See, your background with accounting is very helpful in this regard because people don't realize there's a whole way to communicate with finance people. It's
Yes.
different than small business people, right? We just
Different.
talk a completely different language. We don't know it, you understand. And the fact that you can make that conversation with a finance person really matters a big deal.
Yes, make it simple, right? As a child can understand
Yeah.
it. And I tell them, finance is something that is the foundation of your business, but you really don't want to do it because it's boring. Right?
When I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
When you say non-traditional, can you drill down into that a little bit more?
You were reading my mind. That's the question I was going to ask.
That's not that
You are
hard.
reading. Okay.
Now, yeah, non-traditional for our listeners. What does that mean?
Meaning we use private lenders and investors to get you money, the money that you need. So we have niche lenders. So you know how you go to a bank, we tell people that banks they could be traditional, right? They can be traditional, black and white. Either you have a good credit score or you don't. How long you've been in business, you don't fit. It's either black and white. We have niche lenders. And so if a business owner comes to us in a restaurant industry and they say we need a loan, we're not going to send you to a private lender that invests in trucks. We're going to send you to a private lender that invests in restaurants because they know how the flow of restaurants. They know how it works. They know the ups and downs. They know the brick walls. If you come to us and say we have a trucking company, we're going to send you to a trucking lender so that we understand and that they can understand your business and who you are. And so we have those niche lenders, private lenders and investors. And that's what we mean by non-traditional.
Right.
Yes.
And so the next question I was going to ask you is about consumer financing.
Yes.
I know about this years ago. One of my favorite businesses of all time was a closet manufacturing business, and I was one of the first ones to set up financing for my clients. So instead of them buying one closet, now they can do the whole house, right?
Absolutely.
And so I'm a big fan of this. Can you talk a little bit about it? Because there's a bunch of business people out there that miss this point.
Yes.
Helping the client, helping the customer buy your product is solid gold. And that's what this is. Talk about it.
Absolutely. We got into some people call it consumer financing, same thing. But we continue to come across business owners who continue to have the problem of not being paid. And that was their problem. They couldn't get the revenue stream in. They couldn't make their profit because they were waiting for monthly payments to come in. And they will come to us and say, we just need this until next month, until we're paid. And so customer financing is a powerful tool that puts payment over price. And so it allows a business owner to offer customer financing to their customer. What happens is it goes out, and what's the great thing is it goes out to 35 lenders in 1 to 2 minutes. They have multiple options of approval. Once the customer is approved and accepts that, the money, the full amount, say the invoice is $10,000. The $10,000 is paid out in as little as 24 to 72 hours. And so now the business owner is completely paid, and the customer is now the relationship is between the lender and the customer. So now the customer pays the lender. They have 24 to 84 months, and the business owner is paid. So now they can work. The customer has the value, and the business owner can bring the service.
Customer has a monthly payment, so they're happy, and the business has got its cash, so they can continue to operate the cash flow.
There you go. Yes.
Increasing value. We talked about that in our 12 points earlier.
You're absolutely correct. Let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk some more.
Okay.
Inspire, inform, and entertain you, because that's what we do.
Educate as well.
We can educate. Mm-hmm. I don't know we do too much of that.
It's easier to say inform.
Somebody else does, like our guest does.
They
that.
educate. We
There
entertain.
we go. Okay.
We entertain.
We are talking with the founder and owner of Progressive Business Financings. Oh, gosh. Sam
And Solonia.
Solonia.
Solonia. You should have practiced that during the commercial.
Wade-Baskins. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
So
Yes.
I don't know if small business people realize the importance of what it is you do for them, especially in an environment with FBA being 7.25. There are other alternatives.
Yes.
For example, some of the alternatives might have been too expensive, but now they're absolutely worth looking at. It just so I do want people to hear that. Please go to the website. You can go to WSIC Facebook. Julie has put their website on as well. But if they wanted to reach you, how could they reach you?
Well, our website is www.progressivebusinessfinance.com. Our email address is info@progressivebusinessfinance.com. And my number is Solonia is 980-306-4467. Or you can always reach out to Sam at 704-912
1593.
1593.
Joe will call Sam because he can say his name.
I know. Right.
Solonia, I love you, baby. I'm calling Sam. I say, Sam.
You know what, Joe? I answer all the emails anyway. So it's always me. It's always me anyway.
She sure does.
It's always me.
Okay, so you guys are kind of new to the area, right? We were at break, and Sam said, "Well, I grew up here," so, and Patrick said, "You the one,
Yeah,
you the dude that actually grew up in Charlotte." So walk me through this love story, how you got Solonia, because I got to be honest with you, man, she a catch,
Yeah, she sure is.
and you lucky,
Yeah,
because
I am.
you don't look like no catch.
See how he does that? You see how he does that? Yeah.
I pulled you in
Sam's on
there.
Team
My pockets were
Patrick
kind
right
of
now.
fat. My pockets were kind of fat. So. Yeah, but Solonia and I met one night at a bar and grill. And it was funny. I wasn't going out that night, and she wasn't coming to the place where we met. Mm-hmm. And she actually came and sat right beside me. And
Was that intentional, baby?
No.
Okay. I'm just checking. Like you see,
yeah, she saw.
She saw Sam. She said, "Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
right
But
beside
she said
me.
no, Sam. Okay, go on. Go on with the story
They
now.
have two different I want to hear her version when he's done.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was the coolest guy in there. She had no choice. That's my story.
I got it, Sam.
Yeah,
I got it. I
yeah.
got it. Okay.
But we met that night there and have been together ever since. And we did the long distance thing for 3 years, back and forth, Charlotte to Jersey, Jersey to Charlotte. And we've just been together ever since.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
How
together.
long is that?
5 years.
Yes,
5
to
years.
2018.
Yeah.
Yes, July of 2018.
We did the
Before he
COVID
messed
thing.
up the month
So
zone.
so then he said, "Come to Charlotte." Is that what happened here?
So what happened? He actually tricked me. So what happened is
That boy, Sam. Sam, I knew there's somewhere you got this girl.
That's how every
It
good
was-
romance starts. He tricked me.
It wasn't legit, Sam. I knew that. Okay.
no, but I was Jersey City working in Manhattan, and I would say I'm never leaving Jersey City. I'm
Right.
gonna always be in Manhattan. I'm always
Jersey girl.
I'm a
Yeah.
Jersey girl,
Okay.
right? And so I met Sam, and we come to Charlotte, and it took about 3.
I was living in Charlotte.
He was
then.
living in Charlotte, and I would come to visit. And I was like, okay, Charlotte may not be that bad. It may be okay. And COVID hit. And so we started looking.
You got stuck.
Right?
Sam say, baby, come on, hurry up and get to Charlotte.
and we started looking for houses, but I couldn't come, right? I couldn't come
Right.
look for houses. So he would look. He actually picked a house. I didn't see the house until we were accepted. The quote was accepted. But when I came to the house to look at it, I was like, this is not Charlotte. I see cows and horses. I said, where are we? I said, this is not Charlotte. This is not what you promised me. He's like, I said, no street lights. It's
Yeah.
dark. I'm like, this is
God.
not where you
And
said
any
that we
bug,
were coming.
she's scared of anything.
Any bug.
Anything. Bugs,
bug.
squirrel, rabbit, whatever. She's
We got a lot of those.
So,
here.
so what she's describing is Huntersville.
Exactly. I was like, this is not where. This
So,
is not.
well, I asked this question because clearly you are skilled at networking and connecting with people. How is that from Jersey to Huntersville, North Mecklenburg, right?
Very different.
Yeah,
Very
I
different.
bet it is.
But you know what?
Yeah.
I appreciate it because in Jersey up north, I realized that everything is transactional. Versus in Huntersville and Cornelius, the Lake Norman area, it's relational. It's about
Right.
relationship.
Right.
And so when I first got here, because working really in the corporate world, it's like, what can I do for you?
That's
How
right.
can I help you up north,
Yeah.
right? Versus here, it may take 7 times before somebody asks what
That's
you
right.
do. I'm like, well, is he going to ask what I do? And so, but you appreciate it because up north is what's the next best transaction? I'm going to the next best thing. Here, you build loyalty, you build friends, you build relationships, and you become good friends with these people and it expands overall.
and then they become
good-
your cheerleader as
and,
well.
yeah. Right there, and good things happen, right? Versus up north is very transactional. So I had to get used to it. But when I talk to people that are not from here and they're having difficulty with that, I tell them slow down and just enjoy the moment. Does that make
Right.
sense?
Yes.
Sometimes we move so quickly that we
Right.
lose track of what's really important. But when you kind of slow down and enjoy the people and have conversation, learn about their kids, learn about where you
Right.
go to church at, you build those relationships. And it's more than business.
Yeah.
Sam, you got it. She ain't going back. She ain't going back, Sam.
Right. No.
It's more than business.
I told her she turned from Solonia to Susan. You know that Jersey girl?
There
to-
you go.
Yes, yes,
There you
yes,
go.
yes.
We give her a
So-
nickname. We'll be,
yes. Yes.
she'll be a Southern girl in
Right,
no time.
yeah.
In business, I compare that to a long game and a short game. You're
Yeah.
you're building your customer every day, but you're building it with that 20-year mindset.
Yes.
You're building how can I keep this person from doing business with me for the next couple of decades? Maybe I didn't make the dollar today, but I know they're going to be with me. And that's, as a fellow Northerner myself,
Right.
Solonia and I talked during the break. We're not all that far away from each other where we both
Not.
grew up. I found the social difference between the North and the South like that. It's long game relationship down here. Up North, it's not even what are you doing for me lately? It's
It's
what are you
not.
doing for me
But
right now?
And if I see the next best thing, I'm going to drop you and move on. And so
Yeah.
it's a great thing to have that
So,
relationship.
Sam, you said you really wanted to be in finance. Why is that? What is it about finance that just keeps driving you to that?
Money is people always need money. It's the driving force with everything basically. And you can use it in different avenues. We use it.
Solonia, he might be kind of smart.
I know.
He tricked me. He kind of smart, ain't he?
Listen, I'm the outgoing networker.
Right.
He's the behind the scenes
I got it.
dibbling down. Yes.
Okay, I
He's the-
see it.
Yes.
Tired of talking.
It took the whole show. It took the whole show, but I got it now.
My mic wasn't on. Oh God.
Yes.
But yeah, just
But so to you, finance is just where you felt you wanted to be. That was your lane.
yes. And pass that knowledge on to other business owners and just people in general, that the bank is not your only choice.
And it's interesting that you say that because once you introduce them, for example, I gave you my story about equipment. Once you know, you know.
Once you know, you know.
And if you don't know, you don't even know to ask.
Exactly.
Right? And so you guys can lay out all of these different options for them. They can pick one that works. But here's the good news. They also will know all those other things for the future.
Exactly.
It gets a whole lot easier if they'll just sit down with you for about 30, 40 minutes. They'll know a whole lot more when it's over with.
And we want people, we were just discussing this, we want people to see our services as an investment, not a liability alone.
Right.
And when people have a strategic plan about their business and they borrow money and they use it for an investment, it can triple and double, and it can grow their business progressively and really big. But when you take it as a loan, as a liability, and you're just trying to scrabble and get this, you're going to be in the same position. And so we try to talk to them to educate people and say, we want you to look at this as an investment. Strategically plan where you want to go. Strategically know where you are, where you want to go, where you want to be, and lay that out. And we're here to help you do that.
And small business people, sometimes they really try and stay away from lending, and they miss the point.
They miss the point, yes.
The largest corporations in the world are borrowing money. Microsoft and Google, that have billions of dollars in the bank, are borrowing money. Exactly. It really does make sense at certain times to leverage other people's money, because you can grow faster and larger if you leverage the amount of cash that you have. And that's a conversation you can have with them.
And that's what we want people to see, business owners to see, that this is an investment. Use it. It's a great tool.
So what is a good? We've only got about a minute. So what's a good client? What's a good client profile look like? If they're listening, who is it that you really want to? Do you feel like you can help?
We want them to be open. Are you open to knowledge? Are you open to investing? Are you open, or do you have it? We want to break down the barriers that your parents have taught you about borrowing money and how to use money and the cash flow of money.
Give them your website one more time.
www.progressivebusinessfinance.com.
You are listening to
Solonia.
Solonia.
I thought he was going to have
Sam,
it. Almost had it.
founders of Progressive Business Financing. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
You are listening to Local Biz Now. I am Joe Vagnone. If it's WSIC, say it, say it, say it.
Your business matters.
Yeah, we'll see you next week.
Oh, man.
The new 105.9, 100.7 WSIC, Statesville, W290DK, Mooresville.